welcome. This is Midday News. Thanks for joining us. Jim Cass, former governor for Midday province, hopes the people of Manam Island can be resettled quickly before another disaster strikes. The volcanic island, currently dormant, has been experiencing minor rumbling since it last erupted in 2013. The deadest eruption was in 1974, in which 2 volcanologists were killed. Mr. Cass was governor for Midday from 2012 to 2017. Within his term, he brought forth the Manam Resettlement Bill, enabling the establishment of the Manam Resettlement Authority, tasked with resettling the displaced Manam Islanders before 2030.
Leaders belong to Midday provincial government, belong Bogia, belong Qatar, or Sumkar, or then suppose Qatar will blow up tomorrow. Please let us put our heads and our minds together and complete, settle the Manam Islanders, let this grow, let this total, let this planning in another room take shape, Naimi reaching one making outlook long before anything others or he come up long rousing this law within the and silent prayer from me.
While the country is anticipating the golden anniversary of the nation, Commander for Northern Command, Assistant Commissioner of Police, Peter Guinness, recently celebrated 50 years of service with the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary. He was attested as a policeman on the 11th of April 1975 at the Bomana Police College. ACP Peter Guinness joined the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary at the tender age of 16. Guinness, who hails from Biwat in the Anguram district of East Sepik province, had always looked up to his father, who was a policeman back in the day. At only 7 years of age, Guinness had already set his mind and heart to become a police officer one day. Just like most policemen's kids, Guinness was born and grew up in another province where his father was serving. He was born in Kayapit, a station in the Morbe province. Later, his father was transferred to Manus, and the young Peter spent his childhood growing up on the Little Island province. It was late 1974. PNG was still under the Australian government, but the whispers about gaining independence became louder and echoed into every corner of the country. A lot of indigenous people did not fully understand what it was like and what it could bring. Some said there will be no services and no jobs, as Australians would leave the country with all that they brought with them. Peter was in grade 9 at that time, and the rumors made him lose hope in continuing his education. Initially, he wanted to join the army. He was about to sit in for the interview when his mother disagreed on the idea of him joining the army. Later that year, there was a call out for police recruits, and without a second thought, Guinness went for it and has never looked back since. 50 years on, Guinness' passion and dedication to the RPNGC is as strong as when he first started. To celebrate this milestone of public service, he was given a front seat at the Lay Youth Club, and family, friends and colleagues poured love, encouragement and words of goodwill on him for his achievements, mentorship and invaluable contribution to their lives and RPNGC. During its 58th anniversary celebration, ACP Guinness said the police force pre-independence was very disciplined. Over the years, it lost most of its core values. He shared his experiences and views about the constabulary when he first joined, and then those hard years that came post-independence. Before independence, the police force was operating very well. The organization was running perfectly. As the years went by, the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary deteriorated in terms of discipline and welfare. Commander for Northern Command, Assistant Commissioner of Police Peter Guinness, who celebrated his 50 years as a serving member, said the police force is not a money-making organization and the lack of commitment from the government to improve the organization allowed it to disintegrate. He said pressing issues, especially refurbishing and rebuilding police barracks and police station and providing vehicles to make their work effective, were not attended to, resulting in a decline in performance because moral support was lacking. Guinness said police welfare is very important, but with the lack of attention police personnel were being given, over time, discipline gradually eroded as command and control was barely visible. ACP Guinness stressed on discipline and why it was a vital part of being a member of a disciplinary force. For example, he said in the past, there was no such thing as extended family members living in the barracks, a common practice today. He said being able to fully do their job, a police officer's day starts from where he lives and comes out for work each day. His home environment is what contributes to his attitude towards work for the day. ACP Guinness said he would very much like to see this level of discipline again in the force. ACP Guinness said the police commissioner of the day is currently looking into this issue and in time he is hopeful all necessary steps being taken to address it will improve the constabulary's operations. What if you could operate your mobile phone just by thinking about it? Bridging the gap between computers and the brain is the latest scientific frontliner. Researchers at Sydney's University of Technology are experimenting with ways to use artificial intelligence to read your mind.
Turning thoughts into text on a screen. The cap Daniel is wearing is recording the rhythmic patterns of his brainwaves. As he reads the sentence, Daniel mouths the words, which enhances the way the brain recognises speech. An artificial intelligence decoder then translates his thoughts into words. It's close but not perfect. To prove this isn't a trick, I'm asked to choose the word Daniel should think of to end this sentence.
Spoon.
The AI reader gets it right about 75% of the time. The team is aiming for 90% accuracy.
We have several sentence templates here.
The technology uses two types of AI to decode the brainwaves.
At first, we use the deep learning model to translate the brain signals into the intended words. And then we use the large language model to make the match of the decoded words and make up for the errors in the EEG decoding.
Unlike earlier models, this technology does not need to be implanted in the brain. Experts say it could be used for rehabilitating stroke patients.
As scientists, we look at a medical condition and we look at what function has been affected by that medical condition. What is the need of the patient? We then address that unmet need through technology to restore that function back to what it was. After that, the sky's the limit.
A wearable device that could read your mind used to be science fiction. Now it's a step closer to reality. Technology that allows us to perform tasks just by thinking about them. And could one day even be used to read each other's minds.
Renowned Samoan fashion designer Ata Falasa Halo, known as Afa Alo, was killed after being hit by gunfire at an anti-Trump No Kings march on Saturday. Police say he was an innocent bystander and was shot when an event peacekeeper fired at a man running towards the crowd with a rifle. Members of the Samoan community in Utah say they are shocked and grieving Mr. Alo, a widely respected fashion designer who shared his Samoan heritage through his work. Mr. Alo, a husband and father to 2 young children, died a day before Father's Day, which was celebrated on Sunday in the U.S. Police in Utah are investigating the fatal shooting. As markets are gripped by the latest news from the Middle East, the government of Abu Dhabi has launched a $36 billion takeover of Australia's second-largest gas producer, Santos.
The National Oil Company and private equity outfit Carlyle Group are offering $8.89 per share cash, or $36 billion for Santos. The market response was quite restrained, though, leaving the Santos share price well below $8 because it's far from certain that the government will approve it, since Santos controls critical energy infrastructure supplying major Australian cities, and the bidder is a foreign government. Now, this is the consortium's third go at buying Santos, but the first two, at $8 and $8.60 in late March, were kept quiet. Here's a chart of its share price with those nibbles marked in. Santos shares fell on April the 2nd with everything else after Trump's big tariff announcement, but you wonder how those who sold at less than $6 are feeling today, when at the time there were offers above $8 that they didn't know about. After a big jump on Friday, the oil price settled not far above $70 a barrel today, and it's fair to say that the oil market is alert but not all that alarmed. But that could change in a hurry, of course, if either Israel or Iran started bombing oil facilities or blocking transport routes. The share market is also not panicking and closed close to flat, with gains by energy stocks offset by falls among the banks. There was a second takeover offer today. Tourism Holdings, a New Zealand-based recreational vehicle business, jumped more than 50% after a private equity fund lobbed in a bid. American shares fell more than 1% on Friday in the immediate aftermath of Israel's attack on Iran, and the Aussie dollar is flat at just under 65 US cents.
In sports, with a few days remaining before the 2025 Pacific Mini Games in Palau, Team PNG athletes and officials have not fully paid their levies. They have been given until tomorrow, June 18th, to pay up or face the cut from participating in the Games.
The PNG Olympic Committee has issued a final reminder to all national federations sending their athletes to the Palau Mini Games to pay up all outstanding levies by Wednesday, June 18. The PNG Olympic Committee Board resolved during its executive meeting on June 5 that any sports team failing to pay the full levy of 2,000 kina per athlete and official by June 18 will not be eligible to travel and participate in the 2025 Pacific Mini Games in Palau. PNG OC President Emma Waiwai said all levy fees for athletes and officials must be settled. PNG OC stated that government funding remains unconfirmed and has not materialized despite a budget being submitted in June 2024 and a revised budget resubmitted in February 2025. The total budget required for participation at this year's Pacific Mini Games is over 4 million kina. It costs over 10,500 to take one athlete to the Mini Pacific Games. These cost covers airfares, accommodation, meals and transport, medical insurance, and allowance. The PNG OC emphasized the critical nature of these fees for supporting Team PNG's preparations and managing the team's needs during the Games. The national federations have been urged to fulfill this responsibility and pay the levies for their athletes and teams. Susan Oreape, TVWAN Sports.
That's been today's news update. Do join us at 6 p.m. for our main bulletin. Bye for now.